and embarrassing thing to admit, but my life was just wrapped up in what Kody needed and what he wanted and what the family needed and wanted. I was probably more fixated on that man than, it was.
Christine Woolley sat tall in the green room chair, clutching the final court documents in her lap. The stamp read, custody and child support. Final ruling in favor of petitioner. After nearly 3 years of legal warfare, emotional manipulation, and whispered threats, it was over. Kody Brown had finally been held accountable. She took a deep breath and exhaled slowly. This wasn't just about money. It wasn't even about custody anymore. It was about being heard, being vindicated, and taking back a piece of herself that had been buried under 2 decades of spiritual marriage and emotional sacrifice. It wasn't that Kody didn't see this coming. She'd warned him, quietly, respectfully, first in private texts, then through her attorney. He laughed the first time. The second time, he got angry. By the third, he went full scorched earth. "If you come for me," he once texted her, "I'll take every dollar you have. I swear I will." That was the Kody she'd always known, charming in public, seething in private. A man who wore his father of 18 badge with pride until responsibility actually came knocking. He told her she didn't deserve support, that because she'd left the family, left him, she had forfeited her rights, that her new husband, David, should be footing every bill, that their daughter would be fine without his help. But now the court disagreed. He was ordered to pay full child support, backdated to the month Christine had filed. She had full custody, and the most striking part of all, the judge's final remark: "Mr. Brown has repeatedly demonstrated a lack of engagement, financial responsibility, and consistency regarding the child's welfare." Christine never wanted revenge. What she wanted was fairness. For years, she'd watched Kody throw his energy and resources into Robin and her kids, while the rest of them were left piecing together family dinners and tuition payments. When she left, she hadn't asked for a dime. She just wanted peace. But peace had a price. She remembered the worst moment clearly. It wasn't the threats. It wasn't the lawyers. It was when her daughter asked, "Why doesn't Dad want to help us?" That question lit the fire she'd buried for years. That night, Christine called her attorney and said, "Let's do this." And now, she'd won. The legal victory was only one part of Christine's transformation. She'd been quietly working on a tell-all memoir, one she never thought she'd publish. But with the court case behind her and the weight off her chest, she decided to move forward. She titled it, "Unraveled: My Life Beyond the Brown Family." Not to shame, not to slander, but to tell the truth. She wrote about how Robin entered the family and everything changed. How schedules became negotiations and love turned into a competition. How Kody slowly stopped visiting her home. How family meetings turned into ambushes. She described how she smiled through seasons of sister wives, even as her spirit dimmed behind the camera. How she watched the audience root for her strength without ever knowing how hard it was to hold back tears, while Kody gave another monologue about honor and spiritual unity. She exposed the double standards, how Robin could say no to group decisions without consequence, while Christine was painted as difficult or jealous. How finances were always murky, and how Kody once told her, "Money flows to where respect flows." She included receipts, messages, emails, court filings. The truth laid bare. And for the first time, she included chapters about Janelle and Mary, their support, their conflict, and their silence. She didn't vilify them. She painted them fully, with love and flaws. Janelle had reached out after the court ruling. Her message was short, but powerful. "Proud of you. You did what we were too afraid to do." Christine cried when she read that. Mary, on the other hand, remained distant. Not out of hate, but perhaps out of habit. They'd all learned to survive by staying silent. But silence was a prison, and Christine had the key now. She spoke to her daughter that evening. "It's over," she said. Daddy's going to help now. The little girl just nodded, like she wasn't sure how to react. Christine knew it would take time. Kids learn to expect disappointment before they learn to trust peace. David, her husband, held her hand as they sat on the porch. "You did it," he said. She nodded, but it's not just about winning, it's about telling the truth. He didn't say anything, just pulled her close. The book was scheduled for release the following month. Already, early readers at the publishing house were calling it devastating and courageous. Christine knew it would ruffle feathers, that headlines would explode, that Kody and Robin might attempt damage control. But she no longer cared. Pre-orders had already pushed Unraveled to the top of bestseller lists before sunrise. Talk shows, YouTubers, and gossip pages were dissecting every detail. Quotes from the most explosive chapters were everywhere. "Greater than Kody once told me, loyalty means obedience." That's when I realized we weren't wives anymore. We were servants to his ego. Chapter 12, Loyalty or Silence. Greater than Robin wasn't just his favorite. She was his mouthpiece, his excuse, and his escape plan. Chapter 15, The Queen's House. Christine didn't log onto social media. She didn't need to. Her truth was out. Now it was up to the world to sit with it. But in a gated home on the outskirts of Flagstaff, Kody Brown wasn't handling things quietly. He paced their kitchen, book in hand, slamming it shut and tossing it across the counter. Robin followed, wringing her hands, pale and tense. "She's trying to destroy us," Kody barked. "She's turning the public against me." "She's just telling her side," Robin said quietly. "You always knew this day might come." Kody turned sharply. "You're defending her now." "I'm saying, maybe it's time we stop pretending everything was okay." That stopped him, for a moment. Kody sat down, running his hands over his face. "I was a good husband. I gave them everything." "You gave us what you wanted to give," Robin murmured, "not what we needed." The words hung in the air like dust in sunlight. Robin didn't cry, not yet, but something inside her had shifted. The book had broken more than just the public illusion. It cracked the walls inside their marriage, too. Later that week, a camera crew arrived at Kody and Robin's home. TLC had insisted on capturing their side for a special update. Kody sat stiff in the armchair, gripping the script of talking points his team prepared. But when the cameras rolled, he tossed them aside. "I'm not perfect," he said, "but I loved Christine. I loved all of them. And if I failed, it's because I was trying to keep a broken system together." Robin, beside him, looked away. Her silence was louder than anything he said. Meanwhile, in Utah, Christine did an intimate bookstore signing in Salt Lake City. The line wrapped around the block. Women, some crying, others holding back, thanked her for being brave. A few brought dog-eared copies of Sister Wives, asking her to sign alongside her old pictures. She did so with grace, but her eyes told the truth. That woman was gone. She ran into Janelle outside afterward. They hugged tightly, the kind of embrace that doesn't need words. "I'm next," Janelle whispered. Christine smiled. "Whenever you're ready." "And Mary?" She posted a cryptic Instagram story. Greater than sometimes the loudest truth is told by the one who stopped smiling years ago. She didn't mention Christine. She didn't have to. Back in Flagstaff, Kody faced more than public shame. His older kids had read the book. Some didn't respond. A few, like Peyton and Gwendolyn, posted their support. Greater than, "My mom was silent for too long. This is her piece." Others, like Leon, kept their distance. Kody had burnt too many bridges. And for the first time in years, TLC released a statement. Greater than, "We stand by the right of every individual to tell their story. Christine's voice, like all voices, deserves to be heard." And Christine. She sat on her porch, watching her daughter laugh with David. She held her phone, flooded with messages from women across the country. Women in spiritual marriages. women exiting controlling relationships, women finding their voices. Christine didn't respond to them all, but she read every single one. Because this story was never just about Kody. It was about every woman who stayed too long, about every mother told she wasn't enough, about every partner who gave more than they had to someone who wouldn't lift a finger in return. And now, Christine Woolley had done the thing no one believed she ever would. She walked away and kept walking. Not into silence, but into the kind of life she created on her own terms.